Before we get into it, we've got Chef Gladys returning today with our best part of the day, which is breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Andy.
How have you
I'm
been?
fine.
I like bread a lot. And this is, how people have speck? This is
Yes.
my speck. That fresh, almost white, soft bread.
Bread.
I've seen some people say if it's not burnt, they don't want it. If it's not
I hope
brown.
after today's program you will still love bread.
You know
Because
what?
we have some things to unveil about bread, especially white bread. So
I hope so, because everybody tells you, oh, bread is bad, rice is bad. Everything I like is bad. However, I like what I like.
it's all about balancing the diet anyway. If
I
you can
agree
balance
with
it,
you.
it's fine. You can
Which
go
is
with the
why you
bread.
balance it with a huge, is that watermelon?
Yes, but it's going to be shocking again when you discover that the watermelon falls in the same class with the bread.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I'm sure Tenda will have a lot to talk to you about.
Yes.
But what's most impressive is besides the bread and the fries, which I see over there, you have a lot of fruits.
Yes.
I see apples, oranges, carrots, bananas,
Yes,
and I'm guessing that creates balance.
Yes.
Or
to
in my own
balance
words, it confuses the body system so that it
No,
doesn't
it
know
won't.
if it wants to go this way or the other way.
It's to balance it up. It's to balance it because we know that in this part of the world we are mostly on carbohydrate. We always
That's
eat
true.
things that have to do with starchy food. So it can only be fair if it will be balanced.
And it's all about
least.
moderation, like you have said. And the good part is that at least a lot of our foods are still organic. You leave the
Yes,
country,
yes.
and most of what they have is processed and the like. So something to be thankful for. But I know Tenda is going to be having that conversation with you after this break. And so, have you.
Cooking is both an art and science because food is medicine and you cannot live well, think well, or sleep well if you do not eat well. A very good morning to you. You are now on my favorite part of the weekend show, the breakfast segment. And with me here today is, of course, the lovely Chef Gladys Abulu. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Now we have a very lovely display here. It looks like you have all the classes of food on this table. I mean, you just look at the table and you're already satisfied. You don't even feel like eating anymore because your eyes are already full. Can you tell us what is going on this table? I'm practically seeing breakfast, lunch, and dinner with desserts. So please tell us, we have an array of all of this going on. Can you tell us what's going on this table and what we're having for breakfast, please?
Okay, so what we are taking a look at today, we are talking about glycemic index, which of course has to do with carbohydrate and then coming to the fats and also to our vegetables. Okay, so we have the high glycemic index, we have the medium, and then we have the low glycemic index. So having a knowledge of what category you should be taking per time, it will really go a long way in making you understand how to eat food and how to live well. You know, food is medicine. It's supposed to be our medicine. And if you let your food be your medicine, you cut off from a lot of drugs that will affect your life later. So carbohydrate is good. It gives us energy. It is what gives us energy alongside with fat. But when it's too much, it becomes a problem. It determines how our body functions, how our skin looks, but if it gets too much, like the starch and the sugar in it, it begins to affect us. We begin to now have issue with, we have to deal with obesity and then have to deal with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Okay, so too much of fat and too much of carbohydrate, which are the ones that give us energy. Fat and carbohydrate give us energy. If fat is too much, it gives you obesity. While if carbohydrate is too much, it leads to type 2 diabetes, thereby which makes your insulin to be so resistant that it can no longer take or process the sugar that is coming into your body.
Interesting. So all these carbohydrates and starchy foods, they're actually good for the body, but in moderate quantity, moderate proportions. So can we move on to all the other things we have?
All right, so let me still go back. Here we have the bread, we have cereals, there is the cornflakes. We have watermelon, there is a fruit, but it contains high sugar. That is why it's not good that when you say fruit is good, what category of fruit are you feeding a particular person that is down with maybe a dietary illness? So watermelon falls in the class of carbohydrate. Of course, the soda, we have a soda drink here, which is commonly known as soft drink or mineral, as commonly put on the street. Of course, that one we know that it contains sugar. It's more of carbohydrate, okay? So that is the high glycemic index food there. If potato falls under it, white rice, pasta, but it depends on how you cook it. If you cook your pasta to al dente, it takes a slower time for it to digest, thereby helping the sugar to have enough time to spread over the period of time of the day that you are spending. So it will make it have a minimal effect on the sugar level that it boosts in your system than having overcooked pasta that will quickly digest and thereby making the sugar to have to come at once. It's just like you're pouring water into a cup. When it gets filled up, it must overflow. You are pouring non-stop, it will overflow. So that is why we say, okay, when you're eating rice, your white rice, especially white rice is high in glycemic index. So when you're eating your rice, always have it with some vegetables, or maybe better still, you just make jollof rice or make fried rice, where you have the veggies that come in through your bell peppers and your tomatoes. All right, so moving to the medium glycemic index, where we have the French fries, commonly known as chips. It also has carb, but because it's fried, it's not overcooked. If you cook a potato, boil a potato and eat like that, both of them are potatoes, but they react differently.
Interesting.
Because that one will be too soft, while this is a kind of compressed in one place. It also has the fats to help it also to slow the digestion
So fried
process.
potato takes longer to
It
digest.
takes a longer time
boiled
to
potato.
digest than the boiled potato.
Interesting.
Okay. Then we have, of course, this is watermelon. Pineapple. Pineapple is also a carbohydrate fruit because it contains sugar. But the sugar level in it cannot be compared with the watermelon because this is on a medium glycemic index. Here we come to the low glycemic index, where we have the bananas, the oranges, the apples, the carrots, the milk of any type. It can be yogurt, all those things. They are very, very low in glycemic index. They are very low. So when you eat them, they tend to balance whatsoever you have eaten from here. That is why you see, as a chef, when we serve you a meal, we serve you a complete meal, which is called a full meal, which is a 3-course meal, where you have the appetizers, you have the main course, and you have the dessert. So all these things will be compressed in one place to give you that full meal.
Wow, I feel like taking notes right now. I felt like just bringing out a pen and a paper and like, okay, continue. So all these are arranged from an order, in descending order of the glycemic index.
Order,
so we have high calories and carb content on this side and the lower calories. Wonderful, wonderful, Chef Gladys. Thank you so much for all of this. Not just the food, the information, because you don't just give us nutrition, you also inform us on what we are eating, why we are eating it, and what we should eat. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for coming on the weekend show. For those who don't know, Chef Gladys is a proud member of the Association of Professional Chefs of Nigeria. Chef Gladys, please, one more time, your contact information, social media for those watching you for the first time, so that they don't miss out on this opportunity.
Okay, so before I go further, I want to say congratulations to our student that we just graduated. Wow. Congratulations to you. If you want to reach us, please, you can reach us on White Dish Culinary Academy Abuja on Facebook, White Dish Culinary Academy on Instagram, and our phone number is 090-6508-6655. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chef Gladys. I can't wait to go on a break, especially this party jollof that I'm seeing right here. I want to do justice to it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Well, there you have it, Chef Gladys teaching us about the glycemic index. That is the calorie and carb content of your food. So you've learned something new this morning. Thanks to Chef Gladys and thanks to the weekend show. Well, unfortunately, this is where we draw the curtains on the breakfast segment. But stay tuned. We have the lifestyle segment coming right up after the short break. I'm Tenda Chimelu. Don't go anywhere.